Welcome to Band of Bothers.
I'm going by
Pathfinder podcast.
No.
Hello and welcome to Season 3 of Band of Bothers. It is the day that you are all due to reconvene at the palace.
Are we meeting with the king?
Apparently. Also,
Hello.
nice to see you again, Barlam.
I miss you. I did miss your ability to take damage instead of me.
So you missed me as a meat shield.
I missed meeting you.
I just missed meat. I'm not gonna lie there,
yeah.
I missed meat. And I missed you.
Well,
Eventually, you are all brought to the throne room. You see on the throne a large elderly dwarf. He's got a long, well-groomed beard that's braided and filled with ornate stones and decor. It's white with age, and next to him is his wife. She's only got like mutton chops as opposed to a full beard.
I used this kind of a world.
And you are introduced to King Abelard von Adamanthammer and Queen Walda von Adamanthammer.
Hello.
Princess Magnilda and your friend Echo have both disappeared. They're nowhere to be found, and everyone is panicking. Did they run off together? Did he kidnap her? Or was there some kind of magical mishap? We've called you here because you know Echo better than anyone else here. Do you have any idea what might have happened? Where he might have taken my daughter?
Echo, as he calls himself, had a weird ball which he made use of sometimes, which made weird things happen. So maybe they might have used it to some effect.
I have put out a call for any seers, oracles, prophets, and soothsayers. A few did say that the oracle we needed would come here once Einlasted Groupie has reassembled. We're hoping that now that you have reassembled, she will show herself.
And it falls upon us as I look to my two traveling companions. It seems that feces ever forever trails downwards, and we are the recipients of those obtuse things.
I suppose we'd best catch that feces then.
Tis our job.
We would certainly appreciate it if you were to find this oracle.
So we need to use the oracle to find out where the princess and Echo are, and hopefully some bacon.
So you head up to the surface and find that there is a modest-sized tent set up. A sign outside says Emperatriz's Epiphanies. A smaller sign beneath it says Einlasted Groupie, please enter.
I go first.
I go second.
You see it's well illuminated with dozens of small twinkling lights that resemble fireflies. In the middle of the room is a woman sitting at a table. She has light brown skin and ruby red hair. Covering her eyes is the white blindfold, marked with runes, and by her side is a sleeping griffin. I've been expecting you. I am Emperatriz, and I am here to answer your questions about your missing friend and the princess. Echo and Princess Magnilda are currently trapped in the Hell Dimension and are located in the land of Sin and Pride, known as LA. They are seeking a way back to our dimension, but have hit a bit of a problem, for most dimensional travel magics cannot put you close to where you want to go. At best, you may end up on another planet entirely. At worst, you could end up in the cold and empty void of space.
We are not to go there.
As far as I can see, they plan to use a distinct energy source in your world to act as a beacon for them to target and aim their return on. That power source is going to be the artifact that your group is hunting.
But that's inside a whale.
Wasn't the artifact just some quest of echoes?
If you do intend to retrieve the artifact and rescue your friend and the princess, you should look for the Amber-Eyed Slayer.
What?
The Amber-Eyed Slayer.
Not the Amber Eye player, like I thought it was.
Where is she?
You should find her en route to Raven's Peak, which I believe is where you were going. Should you like a fortune telling? I can do that as well.
I would like to find out if there's any more clues in my future that could actually link me back to my past.
The first card shows two figures, one light and one dark, holding hands with a strange symbol that you, Edgar, would recognize as the yin-yang symbol, but Alpheus would not recognize. The second shows that the figure of light on its knees, surrounded by darkness all around it. And the third card shows the figure of light being led away from the darkness us into another light by a dog.
The last card.
Okay, you flip the last card over.
With his tail.
Suddenly, from one of the orbs floating around you, shoots over and covers it up. The card that forced itself over the top of your future card has the Angel of Death on it. One final card lands on top of them all, featuring the same guide dog as before, brilliant and radiant, with the word Hope on the card. I should mention one last thing. The wild card came down. It is a card that might very well be in all of your futures. It represents the presence of the Deck of Many Things within your future. The Deck of Many Things is perhaps the most powerful magical artifact in the world. It can turn princes to paupers, heroes to villains. It can bring peace and prosperity, an immense might, and it can even change the past itself. It's a horribly destabilizing force in the world that I and other like-minded individuals sought to contain.
I will find it. This has been the sole interesting thing in all your spiel. Do you know where it could be found?
I'm afraid not.
I don't know about you guys, but I just want to find the deck because of the sole idea of the deck. I think that's the only shenanigan I'd like or be interested in. I look at a past card.
The card shows a golden statue. Looks grand, except it is all corroded and rusted. Corruption. Your futures. We have the Crook, the Archmage, the Hero.
And the Deck of Many Things?
It seems that whilst being here, an obsession has been born within you.
Would you be able to read my fortune?
You see a man and a woman standing on a battlefield. They are fighting side by side and holding hands. And the next one, you see the same man and woman walking away from one another.
Ooh. But what about her future?
So the last two cards show a young woman meeting up with one of the two people from the battlefield card, the man from there. The second card shows the adventuring party from the quest card, surrounded on all sides.
Please concentrate on finding the Deck of Many Things. Alpheus.
Hello.
If we get the Deck of Many Things, and if we should get power, you shall grow fat and old and happy with bacon.
You've returned to the King of Cromdor to tell him of all that you have learnt. He asks you to elaborate about this artifact quest that is so important to getting his daughter back.
If we believe strongly enough in it, and you believe in us believing in ourselves, we might find a whale of a time, maybe a time whale, to which we might find an echo of the time we found the whale of time.
Crystal clear, Barlam.
The king kind of rubs his beard and is like, I must behoove you to act with all haste and find this whale so that my daughter may be returned to us. Dwarven Prince Siegfried, who you guys remember as the prince that was murdered last year on the way to Bathmont, that you guys helped find his assassin, and then the dwarves took him to get resurrected, and he apologized to you for being a giant shitbag, basically. He steps forward. I would like to go with you. I can lend you my aid and hopefully help you find your expert and find this whale that you're seeking.
Alpheus will pull out his tablet at this point and go on Twitter to ask about. Has anyone seen any whales near Raven's Peak? Hashtag where the whales at. Hashtag druids be involved. Hashtag whale of a time.
Yes. The first response is a druid who, based off of his Twitter account, is on this way too much, and he just uploads a photo of an extremely overweight person sunbathing on the beach. He's like, I found you your whale.
Alpheus puts okay boomer in response.
Okay, boomer. Whatever.
Suddenly, all the boomers are getting super salty, and now the responses are just boomers ranting.
Alpheus puts the tablet away and he's like, yeah, we're not getting anything from that.
I posed another question on this tablet saying,
Remember the character limits. 4 tweets.
I would like to find a druid with knowledge of marine life in Raven's Peak.
You get a response from an account called Charles the Magical Talking Owl. He lets you know that the best people to speak to would probably be either the merfolk or the Undine druids who are around city of Cyrena. Frieda has also got his stuff. He's like, come on, let's go. My sister's waiting.
I asked him, do you have a short temper?
If you make another height joke, I'm going to turn you into a mouse.
Let's go.
We have drawn the short straw. Alpheus runs out.
Oh no.
You're next.
You head back to the Cromdor Fortress and start travelling north through the mountains to head back to the city of Stormbarrow. You see a commotion up ahead. A group of familiar-looking figures dressed in black are currently in battle with another person who, despite being outnumbered, appears to be holding their own rather well.
You see before you an average-sized human woman with white hair, yellowy amber eyes, and she seems to be holding off these guys, well, using two foreign-looking swords.
You see as this woman with her two exotic blades makes, within quick succession, 4 attacks against one of the assassins. The assassin drops down dead right there. Do you want to describe exactly how your character does these 4 flourish attacks?
No.
Please do.
Then I shall. She backflips in the air and stays in
Yes.
the air backflipping.
You shish kebab and you shish kebab.
Barlam, this woman politely just stepped out of the way. The other assassin looks at his friend, eyes go wide in horror.
I raised wand up to the bandit's eye level, and I get like a little bit of a grin at the edge of my mouth, and I say, "Toodaloo."
The guy tries to do the head shift dodge, and you shoot both shots, one in each eye, as his head disintegrates. Fire consumes his body, and all that's left is a pile of ash.
I look to my side to Ali's character, and I'm like, wink.
Siegfried's now running over, wearing his heavy armor. And he's like, okay, I'm here. Where are the assassins? Oh,
Oh yeah, I forgot about you. Hi.
I say loudly, you fell short of my expectations.
you keep up with those short puns, and I'll fucking cut you down to size, mate.
Hello, it is a pleasure to meet you. My name is Kano Mura. You can just call me Kano.
I am Barlam Malrab. Are you from the Oriental world?
I'm from a small country in the west called Kokuihan. It is just south of Soromista. I was instructed to find the group Ein Laste Gruppi.
That's us.
I was actually on my way to come find you.
We're gonna find a time whale.
A time whale.
Yes, are you sent to stop us from finding the whale of time?
No, I was sent to recruit you.
Recruit us?
It is a bit of a complicated story. I shall go into it later.
Do you know anything about the deck?
I would be willing to help you find the deck.
What story?
You shall join our party. Welcome.
Oh, easy as that. Okay.
Frieda, there is a response on your druid slab to your request if anyone could help you out with a whale situation up at Raven's Peak. The response you get is, "Hello Frieda, I am Akui, a merfolk druid from Duthaich. It will take me many weeks to meet you in Raven's Peak, for I cannot transport via plants, but I can answer any questions on here whilst I journey to you. There are 4 main types of whale that live in the northern seas: beluga, bowhead, porpoise, and narwhal. I cannot meet you on land, as I don't have legs, but there is an undying settlement about 100 miles north of Raven's Peak. I can meet you there as soon as I can." You assume that the only whale big enough to have eaten a person and gotten an artifact stuck inside of them would be the bowhead whale.
Well then,
Before we hit the road, how would everyone like a story?
I'd love a story.
I'd hate a story.
Once upon a time, I went to see a doctor when I was on Digby's farm. The thing is, every time I put a toe near water, it was a bit fearful for me. So he said, "You've got diphtheria."
I look at Alpheus dead in the eye.
I know that you're disappointed in me, but this is a joke book given to me by Cassie on my birthday. According to her, I used to tell her jokes to cheer her up back in the days of when we knew each other as children. It was something that brought a smile to her face, and something apparently I used to remember doing, so I figured the more jokes I tell, the more I'm going to remember.
Womble on. Let's go, please.
The route to Raven's Peak will take about 4 to 5 days, and you'll be passing through Stormbarrow along the way. You're out of the mountains and in the valley, and you see a very tall fellow, practically wearing nothing, and this big old eye patch.
Stop for a moment and say, hello.
He's huge.
10 foot
What a
tall.
unit.
he's so tall that he's high up. Did I
Oh.
do it right?
I clap.
As a tall order, you have high caliber.
The hill giant is stamping his feet angrily.
I'm pulling out my wand.
These 2 laser beams fly out, strike the hill giant.
No more shenanigans with my laser.
What, has the giant died then?
Yes.
You find a rather large marble elephant, about the size of a human hand.
Dibs.
Oh, that's so cute.
I could tell you a joke about a brick wall, but you'd never get over it.
And I drive.
There's the enormous city gates of Stormbarrow. There's a few people hanging around the gates, talking to some guards and everything, and you're charging at them, full speed, 3 horses, galloping, pulling your wagon as fast as it can, and everyone's like, fucking hell! Getting out the way.
Avoid Stormbarrow.
You don't want to go see your brother.
No.
And Alpheus says, well, hurdles to horses, I mean, they just take them in their stride.
Yeah. You finally see the sea in the distance. As you close in on it, you see the small port of Raven's Peak nestled in snugly. It's not a large settlement by any means, but it has a small port with a number of fairly decent-sized ships. The buildings here are kind of rustic and made mostly of wood. It's fairly late in the day, though one ship's loading up.
Have you seen any whales?
Yeah, we're a whaling ship. We're gonna go get some.
Nice.
You looking for work?
We're looking for whales.
No, they're just wondering if you know any stories about whales.
Do you know,
Of course we know about whales. We're a fucking whaling ship.
have you seen a whale with an artifact?
I don't know what you're talking about, mate. If you want to sign up at the crew, captain should be over in the pub.
I suspect the pub's covered in whale bones.
Whale oil, whale grease.
Wales.
It's whales.
This party has the most random conversations.
So you arrive at the Spouter Inn. It's built of the same dark wood as the rest of the town, though inside you see a slew of various whaling weapons hung up on the walls, and the bar itself appears to be made out of the jaw of a particularly large whale, where you see a tall half-orc man and has the salt and pepper grey streaks through his hair and beard, both of which are rather well kept.
Alpheus waltzes over and is like, I've got this, guy.
Arr, I'm Barlam.
Oh, so what brings such an unusual crew to
Now
the
it's
table?
like-
Wait until you see our whaling skills. See, we're after a whale, and specifically a captain called Aham. Do you know where he is?
Hi, that'll be me. I'm Captain Alexander Hammond, though everyone calls me Captain Ham, or Aham for short.
Wow.
We heard that a whale ate an artifact. We don't know how, but we're trying to work out which whale it is.
Where would we learn the whereabouts, whether this whale has whaled?
Are you saying you're looking for Ulia's bowhead? We have been going after it for years. We are a whaling vessel. If you're looking for this whale, then I would be glad to have you.
I sing so I might whale, but as towards hunting whales... Oh, I lost the joke. Fuck.
I can do one in your place, Barlam. Why do seagulls fly over the sea? Because if they flew over the bay, they're bagels.
Siegfried loves it. Alright, well, it's late in the day, and we're planning to set sail at first light. So you manage to get to the minuet just as the sun's about to rise, and as you're coming on board the ship, you're greeted by a human man with long brown hair and a long brown beard. Ahoy! You must be the new hires Captain Ham told me about. I'm Jonas, first mate. Captain's not to be bothered by any of you unless it's super important.
Are you the Jonas Brothers?
Do you have a brother?
Yes. So Kano, you up in the crow's nest watching the seas ahead and watching as the landmass of Aldwater gets smaller behind you. You wouldn't be needing to keep yourself entertained whilst up here. That's very important. That's why I like to practice music up here. And he takes out a little flute. Would you like to give it a try?
Yes. Denied.
But no, Kano has rolled a 20.
Fantastic.
Do I get a flute then? Did they make me one?
Yes.
Awesome.
Weeks are going to pass as nothing really happens on board. You get some bad weather from time to time.
And some bad jokes.
I peel 0 potatoes, just so you know.
So,
Master Chuck, I see a storm ahead and a strange shape in it.
a whale. Yes, this is it. Good job. Get back into the crow's nest and make sure to keep an eye on this.
I just need to keep track of this thing.
All hands on deck.
I cast invisibility.
We've spotted a whale!
What do you call a group of musically inclined killer whales?
Tootfish.
An
Kano shouts.
orchestra.
It is colossal. The ship is now moving into the storm, with Snuffles panicking and wrestling with Siegfried. The two of them wind up falling overboard as the ship jolts.
Alfie's going to tie a rope to the side of the ship and dive overboard to see if he can rescue the two.
You're kind of floundering around. You're not used to swimming in such aggressive water.
Kano hops over the crow nest, runs along the yard arm, and jumps into the water towards Alpheus.
You
I
feel
grab
this-
him in the robe.
Siegfried has hold of Snuffles, and you are able to tie the rope to the railing and start pulling himself a bit closer towards the ship. The whale is now swimming full speed. It launches itself up out of the water, hitting the port side of the ship, knocking it so that it feels like it's going to flip, and it's moving over to get at the people in the water.
With a hero point, I shall try a spider climb spell, jump on the whale, and whilst jumping, drink a potion of water breathing. So I can surf or climb on the whale as I was playing Shadow of the Colossus, while also being able to breathe water.
Did we actually see this though? Is he still
No, they
invisible?
didn't. I'm still invisible.
The rain hitting against his body. So you just see this watery outline of a figure leaping from the ship.
He's going to use Spellcraft to use water breathing.
You manage to cast it on both yourself and Kano, giving you both water breathing. Kano fishes from her pack an item, and she mutters the magic word and hucks it towards the whale's mouth as this small item starts to expand rapidly from this tiny pocket-sized figurine of an elephant to a full-sized fucking Indian elephant. Which fully expands into the whale's mouth, blocking it so that it cannot eat you.
I thought I had an item though.
Okay, I'll use dominant animal and say eat. Eat the elephant.
The whale is going to submerge as it essentially has its prize, and as a result it stops attacking the rest of you.
I'll try and go get the elephant for myself.
Barlam is going to surf on the whale, going along with it as the rest of you are left behind.
Alpheus, you return to Ishi to make sure they patch up the damage, and when you get below deck, you see that it is filling up with water rapidly. There is a huge gash, and Teapot is struggling to get to the stairs.
Alpheus is going to shout out, "I'm in my element, water!" And then he's going to get out the water and actually help maybe patch up some stuff with Kano.
So what Barlam will do, he realizes that this is absolute go time and cast grease on himself, and after that I'll cast detect magic because I know that there's a magic thingy inside the whale. I'll use my innate power of dimension door. I'll visualize the place where the item is and I'll teleport to that exact location so that I can hold it in my hands.
Are you telling me that you wish to dimension door inside the whale's stomach?
As a move action, I'll take out my wand and then I'll teleport.
Now you can't see because you're in a fucking whale's stomach.
A person who was found to be digested by a whale, it took about 3 days to fully digest, so it's not too fast.
You basically feel two items in the darkness. One feels like a bag, the other feels like a fabric sash.
I'll stuff them in my pockets with my other hand, and the other hand is holding the wand of Scorching Ray. My heroic part of the plan is that I'll shoot at the innards like once with it and hope that the monster will try and regurgitate me. I would prepare by throwing the wand into this digestive acid because it's wood, and hope that it would explode, releasing all the charges to kill the whale, like a laser show.
Make sure you cover yourself in ambergris. It's worth a fortune.
He's already covered himself in grease.
Yep, I'll slide along like a really lubricated whale bowel movement.
You feel the whale shudder and vibrate as you launch these two death rays into its stomach lining. How many charges do you have left?
43.
43.
Yes. 346. If I don't get sneak attack on that.
Okay, you are starting to head up as your wand detonates.
1,239 damage.
An fireball of volcanic proportion starts to erupt from this whale's stomach. The force of it starts to push because it's expelling all the gas and all the fluid out, launching you somewhat like a rocket up its esophagus, through its mouth to where this elephant is still trapped in its open mouth. You manage to grab onto one of the elephant's tusks, swing yourself around, latch on with spider climb to the side so that the elephant acts as a massive meat shield between you and the wall of fire that completely explodes and incinerates the whale. For the rest of you, who are currently struggling to keep your ship from sinking, the water beneath you explodes upward and out. The ship is torn asunder. Luckily, many of you were down below, where the lifeboats are. As the ship's being ripped apart, you're able to grab what lifeboats you can as Barlam launched back on the surface of the water. Bits of flaming hot whale blubber is now raining from the sky. One of them hits Captain Aham in the face and he screams.
Well, he's dead.
All our stuff was on that ship.
All your stuff. Well, sorry. What's the command word for the elephant?
Well, I mean, it's mine, so
Nope, it's mine now.
why is it yours?
Because you threw it away.
He found a bag of holding. It's the only, only the bag of holding and the sash were powerful enough to survive inside the stomach for as long as they have. There's a whole bunch of mundane items, like typical traveler stuff. Particularly, there's a lot on different dances. However, Alpheus is the only one who's currently skilled in dancing, meaning he's the best person to wield it right now. The wearer of this sash can use its power to perform different dances to empower their magic. There's finally the rod. It's coloured silver, red and black. It is a rod of fire extinguishing.
Alpheus goes to try and look for his joke book and realises it's underwater.
You don't have your backpack.
Yeah. Oh, we've lost our stuff. But I do remember one joke from it.
Yes!
I closed my ears.
How do you feel when there's no coffee?
I do not know.
Depresso. I'm a sad doggo.
I can gather whale meat into my handy bag and use floating disc. I can use that as a surfboard.
I'm just keeping an eye on Barlam at the moment.
With all of that done, you are now out adrift at sea.
How much whale meat do we have?
It looks like we got probably a good week's worth.
I steer my surfing board coolly towards our boat and I hop on.
You're in a storm. Nature's currently hitting you in the face.
I tell Alpheus, I'm going to turn into a dolphin. Need you to tie the rope to my tail and chuck me out the boat.
All right.
I
What did
turn
you say?
into a dolphin.
Oh, good God.
As Frieda is pulling the boat and you're just staring out at the endless expanse of water and you feel that there is no hope. You notice something floating on the water.
I think there's a barrel out there. And Alpheus immediately starts trying to row towards it.
You get up to it and pull the barrel up onto your boat. You open it up and it's full of a supply of fresh food.
Probably oranges and apples.
This is a gift from the heavens.
Is there any toilet roll in there, though?
You have found someone's coronavirus survival kit.
Oh my God, there's hand sanitizer in here.
That's so topical.
There's baby wipes.
Hand sanitizer.
There are tea bags and everything.
And you now have this sizable chunk of adamantine.
It's a reward for holding on to hope.
Onward, please.
You go as far as you can south. You immediately slip and fall off the boat. The boat's getting further and further away as you are now in the water and it's dark and storming and the waves are coming up and it's crashing down on top of you.
While I'm semi-surfing, can I perform with my flute?
Yes, please do.
Surfing Slayer.
I perform, my heart will go on.
You're gonna play it? I'm gonna sing it.
So, as the boat gets carried away by the waves, you just hear bloody Celine Dion. Will go on.
with Barlam singing and this flute rendition. Go, I've heard her.
It's good karaoke.
Okay, fair enough. I'll just turn into a dolphin.
Alpheus casts water breathing and grabs onto her fin.
Out of the darkness of the storm, this dolphin slams into the boat. Now you have a dolphin flapping about and Alpheus. I see land!
I get out and stretch.
Barlam, you
I'm just
need to
gonna
see
jump
this
in the water and
sand.
Be miserable.
There's no sand, it's rock.
Oh, Barlam, you need to see this rock.
It's a rocky crevice.
I'm just putting my head in the water and exiting this fucking game.
They're probably going to find lots of birds if it's just a rocky crevice.
Alpheus will use commune with birds.
Who are you? What are you doing here? Where did you come from?
We are looking to move on from your land. We will leave you be, but we need to know first how far away this island is away from mainland. Is it far?
Big islands. Big islands? Bigger than this. Over there. That way, yes, that way. Far, far away, yes. Can't fly there. Too far.
Too far? Oh no.
Would I be able to just turn into an albatross and try and go find mainland?
Yeah, you will take off. There's a huge commotion from all the birds when a big fat albatross appears. They now think you're all secret birds. Once you get into the air, you notice the island is very slowly moving. It's a giant fucking tortoise.
Well,
There could be worse situations.
yes, we could be in a whale.
You go around looking for the turtle's head and you do manage to find it eventually.
Hello.
Hello, nice to meet you. The birds that live on my back call me home.
Therefore, we shall call you
Sherlock home.
Where are you going today?
West,
So what is the closest patch of land?
southeast,
If you could take us near, that would be really helpful.
that won't be a problem.
Thank you, Mr. Home.
You carry on into the night, one by one, everyone settles on down. Kano, you notice there are 4 large figures on the beach. They have big muscular bodies and each of them have a large fin out of its back.
Wow, street sharks!
They bite, they fight, they stand for everything right. Big Slamu, Streaks, Jab, Ripster.
Are they just 4 frat bros who got turned into sharks?
Yes!
Oh no, I'm sleeping on the beach in a boat.
One of them, that has the head of a hammerhead shark, runs towards you and grabs Snuffles and one grabs Alpheus. You are helpless, so they successfully grapple you both, drag you out of the boat. You wake up to find yourselves being dragged out into the sea and under the water. They're gonna drown you.
Does it feel jawful?
Yes.
I'll take my elephant from my
Okay.
pocket. I'll be on the top of this mammothine creature and it'll attack the red guy and the blue guy.
Big Slamu and Ripster. Kano, you do 3 points of cold damage and 4 points of damage thanks to having studied the target. Alpheus and Snuffles, the 2 that have you, are going to start eating.
With Alpheus's sickle in his tail, he's going to attack the street shark.
That isn't good enough to get through their thick hide. Alpheus, this giant red shark man comes up behind you, takes a huge chunk out of your back. Then, without warning, an elephant appears, pierces it with its freaking tusks, and it dies. Kano jumps into the water, wielding Lumija and thrusts it into Streaks' face.
Alpheus lay afloat in the ocean's embrace. As the corpse of the crimson street shark washed away in the water's currents above, Alpheus's blurred vision drank in the sun's crepuscular rays. The deep reds were replaced with a refracted rainbow, the depths of death with the light of life. One thought had permeated the Dogeman's mind, stringing together a barrage of memories. Some he'd since recalled, and others knew. Cassie, don't give up! I'll be back for you! Where there's life, there's hope! If there's one thing I hold on to, it's hope.
You think you can escape me, Walter O'Nally? You've no hope. Smaz, my boy, you are the hope of this nation.
Believe in Saint Fade, and through him you will find hope, not glory. Hope is what will see you through this life and the next.
Without hope there's nothing but depression, despair, and ultimately death.
You mean this joke book used to be mine? And I used to tell you its jokes to give you what you needed to get by every day, Cassie. I gave you hope. 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 Hope!
Alpheus's eyes lock onto the end of the rainbow atop the ocean. 4 wolfen legs paddle above him, circling his body like a fluffy vulture.
Spurred by his memories, Alpheus feels his lungs can hold on no longer and so thrusts himself upwards like a rocket through the stars of Piranha around him.
I have held on to hope,
He thinks to himself.
and Saint Fade has made me remember that through my new companions. And to return to Cassie once this is over, I will not let my second life go to waste.
And as Alpheus breaks the water's lid, he is born anew.
Alpheus comes out of the water now like...
Thank you so much, Kano. I almost died out there.
And licks her on the cheek. Alpheus has seen the light.
You are now an evangelist of the Church of Bacon. Eventually, the turtle comes to a stop. A mermaid pops up. Hi, any one of you Frieda by any chance? I thought we were meeting here a month ago.
Oh, are you the person that contacted us on Twitter?
We kind of got marooned.
I don't suppose you found any odd sorts from a sunken ship.
All of the items that you lost are returned to you. Anything water damaged will get fixed like Alpheus's joke book.
As soon as that joke book is repaired, Alpheus will flick through it immediately and settle on the first joke in there, which is, why do fish live in salt water?
Why?
Because pepper makes them sneeze.
Let's get you lot to land, alright? They'll take you back to Raven's Peak where you're all able to rest up.
I think I can access my prestige class. I'm gonna be an arcane trickster level 2. I make all the bacon. Whenever I'm around, I make it bacon plus.
You know that Siegfried's goal was to help you get this artifact and then stick around until Echo and his sister return. Now it's just a matter of waiting.
I'm going to reserve a back room at the inn we're staying in for privacy's sake, and then go gather everyone.
Hello.
I am here.
Hello. When I first met you, I came to you for help and wanted to wait a time before going into detail about everything. I do not feel I have fully earned your trust, and for this reason, I'm going to be completely open and honest with you from now on. So please do not be alarmed. Kano takes off her boots and lets down her disguise. You see the human form dissolve, and before you a humanoid fox lady with dark cinnamon-coloured fur, with the same long white hair and golden amber eyes. I am not human. I'm a kitsune.
Barlam, are you seeing what I'm seeing?
He's just smiling.
But what I really wanted to talk to you about today was the reason I came to you in the first place. I was sent this way to assist in bringing this conflict between the North and the South to a close. A war could have far-reaching impact, especially with trading nations such as my own of Gagui-Han. The Emperor directed me to find a group who were rallying support to quell the civil unrest, and upon finding them, I was directed to find you, mein lastig groupie. You have proven yourselves capable before with the Eldridge Lake issue, I believe.
I hear sheep bleating in my ears. You have a tail!
Yeah.
So you disguised yourself because kitsune, I guess, aren't normally seen around here. Is that the reason? Or
So I decided to look human.
north and south of what? Old Water?
Yes. This tension between the North and the South, it has been agitated by two demons. The reason for this civil unrest and potential war is because of a succubus and a Rakshasa. This group, this religious organization, are trying to take them down to stop this from happening.
So you came to our group. What is it specifically that you need us to do?
I want to take them down.
Both of them?
If we even remove one, it would slow the progress. The succubus is north, Old Water. As for the Rakshasa, south, we'd have to remove him quietly. It is important to know these very same demons were behind the murder of our companion Siegfried. I think you're all more than capable. If you're willing to help me with this, I can enlist the aid of a powerful diviner who would be able to tell us the location of what you seek, specifically the deck.
I accept.
When it comes to Old Water, I've been trying to avoid this scuffle for a little while. I suppose it was only a matter of time.
I accept too. Where is the succubus?
Northern Old Water.
She'll be in the capital, Hampstead.
Then there we shall go.
On the day that you leave Raven's Peak, the 5th of November,
That sounds like a Richard A.A. thing, do you remember?
that is actually the 1-year anniversary of all four of you meeting in Bathmont.
Cake!
I freeze up.
You're heading out of Raven's Peak, south to Stormbarrow. Your goal is to meet up with one of your contacts, Kano. You arrive at Stormbarrow to find that the gates are closed and a much heavier presence of guards, both around the gates and on the walls. Stop right there!
I have family here.
The doors open a bit as Jeff comes out. As we talked about, you said you were going to try and put a stop to all this. I think I could pull a few strings and get them to let you in. Another guard comes over with a packet of papers and passes them to Kano and gives her a little head nod. Carry on.
I walk back to my friends. He's still the same. He's still the fucking same.
Jeff walks back to the other guys going, still the same, still the fucking same. Within the unnecessarily large stack of paperworks is a key with a tag attached to it. One side of the key has the number 12 on it, and the other side says Rocky Cavern Tavern.
Ah.
You make it to the Rocky Cavern Tavern. It's not hard to find. Inside is a large cave chamber, fully furnished with bar, table, rugs, and even a fireplace. You find room 12.
I'm just going to use the key then.
So the door doesn't explode.
I checked the bed for traps and I'll sit on it.
The bed is not trapped.
Good. I did expect someone here, but I'm thinking they may have left something behind. Could we all look around?
Perception there.
You find a small piece of paper hidden on the underside of the desk. It just says basement midnight, and it has the symbol of the group you've been working with, the Demon Hunters. The symbol is of the Seraphim Mikhail. Mikhail is an archangel that's committed to the eradication of everything evil and destructive in nature.
Cool, let's go to the basement.
I turn into a black cat.
Snuffles and Teapot are not allowed in here because they're the size of fucking horses.
So Alpheus is going to go, out, Snuffles! And he's going to clearly walk with Snuffles out the front door.
He slipped behind him while this is going on.
But everyone else has slipped downstairs. You are eventually able to head back in and make another go at it.
So Alpheus is going to walk towards the men's toilets, and it's a -2, so he's just going to walk straight and continue going into the men's toilets.
Stealth -2. You shout in the men's room alone. Ah! I'm looking at Kano. Are we expecting the ninjas soon? Because Alpheus is not here.
I don't think he's coming, is he?
Frieda's just got her little druid slab out and she's writing on it going, Alpheus!
Alpheus is like responding going, I'll catch up in a bit, you go ahead.
Hidden in the shadows, you see a figure, a feminine voice, enter your head. She says, thank you for coming. She goes by Esper because she's a telepath. She is a dark-skinned Lashunta with 2 long, thin antennae, and you know that she's the second in command of this small group of Mikhail's followers.
Alpheus has been sitting on the toilet and decides to cast Mad Monkeys to burst out of the toilet area, and then he's going to follow in their wake and shout to everyone on the floor, there's monkeys in there! Everyone out! Out! Out!
Yeah, keep a low profile, they said. It'll be fun, they said. We do hear this downstairs, don't we?
Everyone hears this. She looks worried and she's like, have we been compromised? The enemy's here.
You can trust us completely.
In the chaos, can Alpheus then start sneak down to...
Sneak is a strong word. I don't know if you know what it means.
You managed to get downstairs all right.
Oh, man.
She's putting her face wrap back on. She's like, we should do this another time. This is no longer a safe venue.
Esther, we'll be in town for a few days. Just send us word when you're ready.
I sneak back out.
This is the most stupid thing you've ever done.
Yeah, Alpheus feels pretty bad about this. He goes out of the tavern with Snuffles and then rides off into Storm Barrow somewhere.
Barlam, you said you were heading back to the hotel that you're staying at. You're not staying with the others, are you?
No. I think this time illicit substances and gambling.
Would you like some Serpent's Kiss?
How much is an ounce?
50 gold. It's a drug that makes you way more confident but gives you shaky hands.
I shall take that and I shall go gamble.
At the rate things are going, you're going to turn out a bit of a profit. Kano and Frieda, what do you two wish to do?
Drink myself into sleep.
I get the totem out and turn Teapot back into lioness form, and I ask her, can you help me find Alpheus?
Teapot is able to do some tracking.
So Alpheus feels a little bit bad about what's happened. He's going to track the person that he were in the meeting of.
You pick up her scent. You hear a little message in the back of your head. It's your sister, and you recognise that she's using a sending spell. Hey Alpheus, how's it going? I was looking in on you and seemed upset.
We tried to meet with someone. Monkeys happened. Trying to fix it. Can you help?
There is a flash and she appears before you. She scried on your location, took a good look around to see where you were, and then teleported in. Let's see if we can find this person and put this right.
There you are, Alpheus. I wondered where you went. went. Are
Frieda.
you okay?
No, to be honest, I'm not. I am really sorry for what happened.
Oh, is your sister here?
Hi.
I go fetch Barlam then.
You're outside this bakery. The lights are off. It's the middle of the night.
So Alpheus dogify him.
Turn into a scruffy street dog.
I'm a sheep. And Alpheus will then go to the cellar and dip in.
You see a shadowy silhouette at the desk. Who are you? How did you get in here?
Alpheus will think to her, hello, it's me from the tavern cavern, the Doge Man, but in Doge form.
You didn't need to come find me. I said I would get back in touch with you in a few days.
A few days feels like it's too far. I feel like we should really finish what we started this evening.
You'll head downstairs. I can't talk here. Cassie will speak up at that. Plavoria, we have a demi-plane set up. We use it for diplomatic meetings and stuff. I have a wand of plane shift I can use. Get us all in there. There won't be anyone there but us. Maximum security. You all make it back to the bakery.
I'm intoxicated.
Sifu's like, who's this?
That's my sister.
Hi. She's like, hi.
Hello, my sister. I am Kanomura.
What the fuck, Alpheus? I thought you couldn't make this any worse, but you just did.
Oh, I didn't know you'd be drunk.
Barlam's gone, and the rest of you make it down into the basement.
I'll use Dimension Door in a moment of inspiration to get to the door of the hotel.
Roll me a luck check.
2.
You just teleport into a random building.
Into the cellar.
Where am I?
Yes, Esmer's there. Like, what the fuck?
Your face is so soft, Alpheus. It's so fluffy.
Kano, you're now sober.
I am so sorry.
I point at Cassandra and I say, I hate you. What's your agenda, Cassandra?
Don't have one. I'm just here to help my brother.
Right, do your magic. You are clearly the savior of your brother in any situation. I think I know a weird girl when I see one. I killed one, you know?
She's gonna use the wand of plane shift. You will all be transported to the demi-plane. You find yourselves in a large room with blue walls decorated with golden trim and many, many paintings in golden frames. The ceiling is also intricately decorated with various images and artistic depictions. There are a number of chairs with golden frames and soft white upholstery and a lit fireplace in the room, giving it a nice comfortable feel. One wall is dominated by a huge window, and outside of the room is a stunning view of cosmic space with stars and planets far and wide.
Nice place you have here.
Esper has been using detect magic to look for any magical spying devices. I think it's safe. I don't like trusting someone I don't know, but Alpheus believes in her and Ambrise believes in Alpheus, so I guess I'll have to have faith. The door opens and a tray full of bacon comes in.
I make it taste like sour, tasteless milk.
Let's get to business, shall we?
Our little group are demon hunters. We hunt the kind of demons that hide themselves in public places and surround themselves with innocence so that they would become collateral should they be pursued by an actual battalion of paladins and clerics. In an ideal hunt, the demon will never know that we are there until it is too late, and no one will ever know what happened until long after we have gone. The target up in the north is Mesula, who is a succubus. She has managed to become the Countess of Swanhelm. She tends to stay either at her own keep in Swanhelm or the castle at Hampstead.
Does she ever leave to go anywhere else?
She tends to teleport between the two as opposed to travelling by boat.
If we know where she teleports from to where and what times usually, or if we know when, can we find a way to do a teleportation interception?
Such a thing would be possible.
How about Cassie? She already used powerful transportation on us.
If not Esper herself.
So would we need to access the site, or would we just need to be close?
If we are closer in proximity than going farther away, there's a bigger chance that we hit a right spot.
Hang on, we can plan this visually on my map of Northern Outwater.
Yeah.
If you look over to the right-hand side of the map, you'll see Hampstead, and below it you'll see Swanhelm.
Yeah.
If you set up a ritual somewhere between essentially the castle and Swanhelm, you should be able to intercept it.
Do you know of any spells that can tie a demon such as this to a specific place?
Dimensional anchor, I think.
Oh, right.
Okay.
After that, we can start work on getting rid of the Rexasha over in Bathmont. At the very least, we'll have put the war on hold for a while, which should give us the time to take take him down as well.
Exactly.
Esper nods. Okay, I'm feeling good about this plan. Cassandra will take you back to Elderspell if you don't mind.
Where is Elderspell?
It's just south from Swanhelm.
Okay.
Nice.
Whoop.
You just appear in the middle of town next to a nice big water fountain. It is the middle of the night.
To an inn.
The apprentice's arms.
Kano strips and goes to shower.
Alpheus gets an anime nosebleed.
Anyway, I'm off to bed and turn on the other side and fart.
And Alpheus will do this, do the same with Spoon Kano.
Alpheus, you hear Cassandra's voice in your mind whisper gently, "Hey, Smaz, can we talk, please?" You both head outside of the tavern. It is a cold night as you're in early autumn now. I'm worried about what might happen if I spend too much time with you and your friends. I don't think they like me, and I know that Barlam is especially distrusting. I mean, he threatened my life yesterday, and under normal circumstances, I would not let such a threat go without at least teaching him a lesson, but he's your friend for some reason, and I don't want to risk losing you again.
I still feel very indebted to him. He has saved my life many times.
He treats you like you're his pet. You deserve better. You need to know that if he does threaten me again or tries anything to harm either of us, I will take a proactive approach to self-defense and destroy him.
You will destroy him? That's not you.
I know you've lost most of your memories of the past, so you don't really remember what things were like.
I remember enough.
I know that you weren't there for the years that followed, so I've lived through the brutal and oppressive criminal regime, and I was there to help spearhead the civil war that overthrew their tyranny. I was there helping to lead the forces of Pathfinder against the hostile nation of Futaria once we found peace, and then they turned on us, and that led to a horrible war. I've been through a lot. Finally, our home is safe and prosperous, and I have a great job that I love, and most importantly, I have you back. I'm not going to let my happy ending get taken away.
Either help, Cassie, it would be appreciated, or return to Pavonoctis.
This is not my journey. It's not my friends. I want to be there to help you, and if you want me around, I'll stay around, but I'm not sure how much good I really can do.
You will be good enough, I think. Let's head to bed.
Morning rolls around. Everyone will make their way downstairs for breakfast where you'd reconvene. Esper isn't anywhere to be found, but as you look around for a table, there is someone you do recognise. Her pink hair's tied back in a ponytail, and she's now sporting a pair of glasses and is busy reading.
I roll my eyes.
Frieda, Alpheus, it's good to see you again, Uncle Barlam. It's good to see you too.
Enoch's back.
She smiles at Kano and Siegfried's like, you two must be new. I'm Amy Malrab.
She's my niece. How are you?
I'm fine. She's trying to be polite. She's quite upset with you all.
It's good to see you, Amy. Sorry we were in a bit of a hurry last time to leave. We didn't get a chance to say goodbye.
It's alright, I suppose.
We have important stuff to do, and we wish to incorporate you to that important stuff as friend, as family. But if you want to be mopey and like this, I can't trust you to do important things. I'm sorry.
I'm a proper Rift Warden now. What's the job?
There's an extraplanar creature who we have to intercept between two notable places, and we need a way to know where, through which ley lines and through which routes she travels with her teleportation ability or spell.
I've got certain spells to intercept it if we know that she's travelling through that area. Yeah, that all seems plausible enough. Right around then, the door swings open. You hear a boisterous laugh. Ha ha ha! Good morning, everyone!
Barkley, you son of a bitch!
Long time no see! Hope you've been keeping up with your magic training. He gives you a good firm handshake. I've got a bit of an urge to hit the old trail and beat up some monsters after what we all did together. Alpheus, damn dude, you got a tail! How'd you manage that?
By wishing really hard.
Damn, maybe I gotta try that.
And he is
Call me Berkeley. Holds his hand out to shake.
a good shake.
Berkeley will of course help you all get your cold iron because his brother's a blacksmith.
We could do with some assistance. Join us on our mission.
The cold iron is to bypass the damage resistance. Berkeley ambushes you. Alpheus! He hands you a pin with a mastiff head and a stylish MM under it with a bite taken out of one of the M's. You recognise this as the logo from the Mighty Mutt's Sports Ball uniform.
This is
Badge.
the best gift since Bacon Plus. Thank you.
Sandra's there and she's looking kind of very awkward about the whole thing. You notice a note.
I open it up and take a look.
The letter is marked with the symbol of the demon hunters. Inside it just says Bobby Bugbear's Brilliant Books.
I'll try and navigate back to it.
Yeah, so you find yourself a modest-sized bookstore with a range of other items like wizard robes, hats, stationaries, etc. Behind the counter you see a large, well-groomed bugbear in a suit. She's upstairs and waiting for you. You enter a living room space and you see Esper sitting next to an unlit fireplace, reading some notes. Amber Eyes, thank you for coming. Take a seat.
Oh, hello.
Have you made any progress towards procuring the allies and weapons that you seek?
Barlam was dealing with the ritual. If we required any particular weapons, such as myself, we've had those commissioned. So we'll stand a better chance against the target.
The allies you got were Berkeley, who is an animus with a Doberman head, and Amy, who is a pink-haired magic girl.
My group can vouch for them, though.
Okay, good. Alpheus' sister. Keep an eye on her, alright?
I'll certainly keep my eye on her.
Our target appears to be in Swanhelm right now.
Let's focus on the succubus.
Esper will suggest you'll teleport there first thing in the morning to start setting the ritual and the magic circle to catch her so long as she uses that route.
So it's the morning, you guys have all gathered up ready, having had a proper night's sleep, and Cassandra will teleport you just south of Hampstead. You find yourself a spot along the cliffs to start working on your magic circle. Barlam and Amy are the ones who are going to be setting this up, and the rest of you get to hang around and do fucking nothing, I suppose. It's kind of the wizards handling this.
Yep. So, come here often?
No.
Neither me.
This is literally the first time I've ever been here. Berkeley has gone to join the two making the circle, and whilst he's not helping on the circle, he's like, hey guys, I just wanted to let you know you're doing a great job.
I just want to get in position and wait for a signal. What's the signal, Barlam?
I'll say a signal.
Okay, cool.
I'll be in a Naruto pose, like, oh, readying myself all the time. I ready for a silent spell.
And now we wait.
Yeah.
After a few hours of boredom and a bit of fun, you'll notice a vibration in the air as you see directly in the path that you guys predicted a violent struggle as two motes of light are pulled from the sky against their will and dropped into the magic circle. Once the lights land, there is a crackling sound and two figures stand before you in the circle. One is a kitsune woman of a small and more petite build than Kano, with light yellow fur and huge adorable fox ears. Kano, you know that this woman is a kitsune that resembles a fennec fox, native to the desert regions, though you probably haven't actually seen one. With her is a tall, slim human male in a featureless dark robe. He is very good looking and has immediately started to focus on the magic circle under their feet. So everyone within 20 feet of Barlam is going to be unable to make any noise.
No sound will escape or happen in that area.
You've tried to fart and nothing happened.
You just smell it.
Mad monkeys, where they're standing.
I dashy dashy dash, stabby stab stab on the kitsune on my short sword, and I smile.
The wizard accompanying her steps back and is going to use a silent spell, Dispel Magic. The zone of silence drops. Whoa, 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 what's going on here? She's looking very scared. She doesn't know what's going on. She's like, who are you people? Why are you attacking me? She starts to fly and she's just gonna move 50 foot upwards. Berkeley's up next. What do we do?
Kill them.
Yes, but we were expecting one. There's two. Does anyone have a way of identifying?
This can't be happening.
Siegfried's like, I have prepped the spell Detect Demon for this reason. He just looks up and goes, that's the demon.
Yeah, alright, I'll use my short bow.
You shoot two cold iron arrows up at the kitsune and they manage to hit her and she's like, ah!
Alpheus looks up and with his sash of net magic fun, is going to use a piercing spell with that and use cool lightning on the kitsune in the sky.
You're performing your dance and next round lightning's going to be able to come down.
Snuffles runs over and bites the guy.
Berkeley failed to punch this wizard. Suddenly a giant white wolf runs behind this guy, bites him, throws him to the ground.
Oh
it's like,
my
what
god.
the actual fuck? Frieda, your mad monkeys appear.
Oh god, not this again.
The kitsune's in the sky, your monkeys can't reach him, but the guy's on the floor, the monkeys can easily reach him.
Okay, the monkeys, I want them to remove every item that's on him and throw it.
He has a masterwork alchemical silver dagger, and the monkeys have taken it.
I told them to yeet it.
Off the cliff.
I'm going to start casting Moonstruck for the Kitsune.
She makes the save. Amy's up. The human, he disturbed the magic circle. Get ready in case she tries to teleport. And she's going to move herself into position to try and get a counter spell going.
Could I take a 5-foot step and while I'm moving, take out the Figure of Wondrous Power
Okay.
and toss it in the air above the Kitsune and activate it?
So, yes, you get that above her.
I'm going to activate it with a command word. Elephant! Fall!
Okay.
It's an elephant grenade.
Just took out over half her health in one go. And she's now prone and pinned.
Kano multiply very lazily stabs her in the chest and the neck. That's kind of it, really. There's not much you can do. She's pinned under an elephant.
She's fucking dead.
Does the core lightning finally come down at the end?
There's a guy here with like 7 hit points. Do you want to roll your core lightning against him?
Yes, I would.
As he's running away, a bolt of lightning comes down, zaps him, and he barely dodges it, but it's still your turn.
Alpheus smiles, Snuffles looks at him, Snuffles smiles, and Snuffles wanders over to the guy.
You have never seen a wolf with this much swag before.
Snuffles locks his jaw around the guy's ankles, pulls him over so he falls face first on the floor, and then does a leak on his back, and that just kills him.
Wow.
Does she transform back?
Yeah.
I would like to search her if that's possible.
First thing you find is a mysterious deck of cards.
I look at the cards.
No way.
Yeah.
I call Crumpet back to the Pokeball.
You found a small onyx figurine of a dog.
My boy.
It's a pug.
Would you like to trade the deck for the onyx?
Depends on what the deck is. I want to answer that first.
What does the deck smell like?
Decks.
Imagine it would smell like perfume because of the nature of the succubus.
Do the smell craft.
Oh.
Okay, so you can tell that this appears to be a deck of many things. However, Alpheus, with his crit, thinks there's something not quite right.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I look at Kano friendlily still, and I give the Onyx dog and extend my other palm.
I pass over the deck.
If you're going to use that, please give me a day to get out of here.
It could be the deck of some things.
I start taking all magical items off myself.
Amy's like, wait, what? Are you using this now?
Yes.
I turn into a lioness-like teapot and leg it.
Barlam, I'm worried.
He gently sweeps all his magic stuff into the bag of holding and says to Alpheus, you now own all of this.
Cassandra will fill you in. The deck may strip him of every item he owns. By giving it to you, he no longer owns it and the deck won't take it away.
Seriously, Barlam, I don't think this is a good idea.
I'm just transfixed on the deck.
Alpheus will look Barlam in the eye with some understanding, give him a nod, and back off with Snuffles.
All backing off. I'm scared.
I smile. Thank you, everyone. You've been good. And starts taking 5 cards.
Alpheus runs.
Okay.
Just exit. I'm at a distance, but I'm watching.
You draw a card that has the word Donjon on it. You are suddenly frozen in time and space as per the temporal stasis spell.
I don't say a thing.
He freezes in place. Berkeley sees the card go white in your hand as the power is activated.
Obvious!
He will stop running, take a deep breath, and just go, by the blood of Saint Fate, and we'll run back with Snuffles towards Kano.
Cassandra's gonna join you. Siegfried's with you.
But yeah, we're gonna walk on up to ground zero.
What expression does Barlam have?
Verbally and dry smile. But also kind of a smile which says, I fucking knew it. He wanted an end to shenanigans.
Is he dead?
Shenanigans ended him.
I think he's in a temporal stasis. Literally the only fix is the freedom spell. And I don't know anyone strong enough to use that. If anyone wants this deck, you have to get it from Barlam by freeing him.
Oh, it's like a really fucked up Arthur.
And there's
Whoever can pull the deck from the guy is fucking stupid.
You pull the deck from the guy, you free him, and he'll punch you in the face, take the deck, and pull another card.
Yeah.
Stunned.
Barlam, can you hear me?
He pulled a card from the deck of many things, I would assume.
Alpheus will try and lick Barlam's face to snap him out of it.
You do get pretty close, but it's like there's a magical barrier of some sorts just pushing you back, and you can't touch him.
Berkeley, if we left him, no harm will come to him, right?
No one can interact with him. I mean, you can't touch him.
Alpheus, may I have the elephant, please?
Sure.
I just want a moment with Barlam.
Siegfried pats her arms like she wants to pet pay a respect, I think.
Alpheus will turn to Barlam at that point and say, "It's been a long road. Hopefully the road is longer still. I'll catch you when you're back in time, I guess." And he waves to Barlam and says, "Goodbye, Barlam," and walks off.
I'm going to transform back into my kitsune state. You know, I wish we got to know one another a little better. For someone so smart, you really were very foolish. But I get it. Life is hard without all the shenanigans, but we'll never grow and we'll never learn. It's my belief that we should leave this world just a little better than when we found it. I crouch down and with my claws I dig out a groove underneath one of Barlam's feet and I place the marble elephant there and then I bury it. If we find a way to save you, we will. But something tells me you're happier this way. Your plan worked. Thank you. And then I leave.
Frieda, Amy, Barlam's been frozen in time, and I think by a fake deck of many things that only had bad cards in.
It's like, I've got to go. She's just gonna very briskly start moving in that direction. She doesn't want to believe it.
I'm just angry and pissed off. I look at Barlam and I just say, thank you for the memories. I'm sorry we couldn't do more. I get up and I leave.
Eventually, you make it to Hampstead. It is a very large port town. It's surrounded by water on two sides. You basically find yourselves the first bloody tavern you can find and get in. It's literally called First Bloody Tavern.
Drinks.
You hear a thudding walk from the direction of the door. There's someone who claps his hands together and he claps again. Behind you, you see some of the lights of the tavern dim, like eclipse, as there's a 7-foot-tall man with long platinum blonde hair and actually somewhat glowing white eyes and a big friendly smile, handsome face, completely utterly muscular build, and he says, "I finally found you."
Us?
Yes. Can I buy you a drink?
Can you buy us a drink?
He just puts his hands around as much of the people as he can, and he can fit 4 normal people in his arm span. I'll guide you to the best table.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm burying myself up against Teapot's fur.
I shout to the bartender and say, "Drinks for all." He's shirtless and he's pale as fuck, and he fishes out a pouch of gold. "So, what brings you here? I've heard much about you."
We've just finished a mission, and now we're going to celebrate the loss of a friend.
Well,
The biggest tankards for this evening for our lost friend. Who is he or she?
his name was Barlam Malbrab.
He must have been an excellent man. He slaps Alpheus very heavily on the shoulders.
Yeah. He was.
May I ask what your name is?
My name is Falric.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Falric. My name is...
It's a pleasure
Kano.
to meet you, Kano, the master swordswoman.
Um,
And you, Alpheus, the strong, the big boy.
Okay, it appears he knows who we are.
Yes, I'm a huge fan. I'm literally pretty big. I followed you far and wide, you know, and I'm really white too. Yes.
My ears are going several shades of magenta.
Oh yes, Frieda, the legendary druid. And Siegfried, the mighty dwarf.
Alpheus's bones vibrate.
I've read all the magazines about you.
There are magazines.
Magazines devoted to heroes, yes.
Did
I
I-
am a subscriber.
Did I make it onto the cover of Vague?
Vague? No, you people are not vague in the slightest. You have been proven to find items well. My purpose was to find the strongest heroes I could get my hands on, figuratively, to help me find more magic. And I would gladly follow you to the ends of the earth.
Speaking
No,
of
really.
magical items, would you like a sip of my flask?
What is it?
It's excellent sake, actually.
He drinks and drinks and
And
drinks.
can
and
you
drinks.
roll
One of those
1d6?
things. 4.
I
Reduced
just
person.
stare open mouth. Like,
Is it a reduced person?
Yeah.
You half your height.
His voice starts sounding a little bit less epic.
So I don't think it was ever agreed whether I was part of this group or not. I'm tagging along. So I...
Clearly a part of the group.
You're part of the group, aren't you, Kano?
It's only if you say I am.
as we travel, things just stick to us.
Like spaghetti.
It's like a katamari. Where are you going next?
We need to take that sash back to the Elven City.
Mythglower. Everyone raises a drink.
I'll outdrink the whole tavern.
Yeah, and then I'll retire for the evening.
If any of you are sharing a room with Varric, you just see him lying flat on his back, looking up at the ceiling, going,
Yes, exactly.
until he goes to sleep. The one by one gather for breakfast.
Hi, Esper!
By defeating the succubus, you have put a stop to this war from happening. That does just leave us with the Rakshasa, the longer he's allowed to amass influence and power, the harder he'll be to deal with, but we have time to deal with him. Our group will be proceeding to take him down next. If you don't wish to help, you don't have to. It's not an emergency like the succubus was. When we first spent time in Elderspell, Frieda said something about having to go to Suramista, something to do with finding out who her family is, or I think that's what she wanted to do. And didn't you guys want to show the sash to someone who was in Suramista who could help you or something?
My home is not that far away. It's in that direction.
So, Frieda, should we go there?
Someone wanted to see that sash, and the person that wanted to see the sash is in the same place as something else I needed to sort in Suramista, so...
Soramista's like southwest, and we're like northeast.
Siegfried will bring this up, so it's like, so we've got a pretty long way to go to get to Suramista.
Can we not teleport? Would it not be easier and more expedient? It says in my book that we can ask a mage to teleport.
Heroes Monthly truly is an amazing magazine.
Barkley, do you know anyone in Elderspell to teleport us?
We've got people in Elderspell capable of teleporting. It's a mid-level spell.
It says here that the succubus also teleported, so I assume that it's not hard for a proper mage. She was not a proper mage.
How the hell did they get that in print so quickly?
They are amazing. It's got glossy cover where there's sexy heroes on top.
You know, Cassandra can teleport. She teleported us before, didn't she?
Oh, Cassandra.
Yeah.
Fortunately, something that I have access to as a cleric.
I mean,
It's
if Cassandra
massive way
could get
there.
us to Skavis, it'd be good.
For that, Cassie, you can have a joke.
Yes, please.
Candles. They get on my wig.
Just
That
grab
was-
my hat, just bury it over my face.
I laugh heartily.
Amy's gonna look to Berkeley. She's like, we're not going to Suramista, are we? And he's like, no, we've got work to do back home.
Shall we go, Cassandra?
Okay, I haven't been to Suramista myself. I can try. We all met the artifact expert back in Wolf Hill, so I can attempt to scry on him, and from that scry I can pick up the details of the location he's in, and that will increase our chances of teleporting successfully by about 80%. After this, though, I really do need to get back onto my job, so I will be having to part ways with you. I can't keep teleporting you here, there, and everywhere.
Massively appreciated, thank you.
It is
Thank
most
you.
appreciated. What is it you do again, Cassandra?
I'm a diplomat. After my country freed itself, overthrew its former government, we needed to set up alliances, trade deals, or just simply make contact with other nations. And I signed up for that job because after everything I'd been through and after all the conflict, I just wanted to be able to travel, to see the world and just to get away from everything, but still do something to help.
I see.
But there is more to the story than she's saying. If everyone's ready, one of you roll me a D100.
81.
Off target, you'll hold hands and concentrate as the tavern around you starts to fade. You suddenly find yourself in a completely different climate. You were expecting to be in a large forest surrounded by trees and wonderful elven architecture, but no, land beneath you is very dry and savannah-esque.
I think this is where Teapot came from.
For miles upon miles, there is nothing but open land.
Can you try again?
As this pack of lions are approaching you all, and suddenly, you're gone. You find yourself surrounded by woodlands everywhere, as there are large, beautiful buildings made entirely out of wood, in fact, and before you is that elf gentleman that you met back at Wolf Hill.
It's something like Mr. Willow or something.
You have arrived in Suramista's capital of Mythglower, home of the 4 major races of elves that call Suramista home. However, you have no time to take in the sights of the city, as you hear screams and battle cries all around you. You see vines, molds, and fungus covering the buildings and people. You see there are elves fighting against huge shambling mounds of vegetation, and even elves with fungus growing out of them fighting their own kin.
I guess this is not a vacation after all.
In the sky, high above the city, there is an utterly enormous mass of tentacles and eyes, complete with a vast toothed
lengthy cavern of a mouth. Some of the fungus creatures glance your way. This fun giant is going to move to attack Frieda, slams down into Teapot, and now all the little fungoids are going to start moving. Cassandra's up. She looks conflicted. Smaz, I have something I need to tell you, and I know this isn't really the time. I'm gonna have to do something that I never wanted to do in front of you. Just keep an open mind.
You're not going to get dressed. Please don't.
She is going to start waving her hands around in a complicated gesture as a string of silk from a phase spider is whipped around and disintegrates as part of the spell. She chants the incantation in a deep and very eerie language as she's suddenly fully equipped with a whole new get-up, wearing a long, elegant purple and black dress with thigh-high black boots and matching long gloves, and most prominent being an elegant golden crown. Around her orbit a collection of colourful arcane orbs, and in one hand she holds a long golden staff with a simple double diamond design at the top, whilst in her other hand she holds an ancient-looking tome.
So we're doing transformations, eh? And then from a spring-loaded wrist sheath, he produces a potion of enlarged person and puffs it. It's big boy time.
The Elven Artifact Master, he sees you've got one of the first of the fun giants surrounded, and he'll see one of the other big ones coming towards you all, and he's like, I'll keep this one busy. And he's going to dimension door over to try and keep one of the big fun giants away from you all.
I shall attack big boy there with Lumia.
As you dodge around two of the fungoids, you keep low, ducking and swerving, and you plunge Lumia into its leg as you see a bit of the ice creep around the blade and you rip it out.
I planted a hit.
Yes. Cassandra will use a quickened fly spell to become airborne, as she'll then cast another spell. All of you see that every plant monster around you starts drying out, rapidly wilting and crumbling to dust as a huge wave of necrotic power evaporates all the moisture from them. The three fun giants make their saving throw and all the fungoids on the map crumble to dust. That was the biggest spell in my arsenal, so I can't do that again. Everyone focus fire.
Okay.
Alpheus is conflicted.
You will see Falric just stampede over most of you because he's now so tall and smashes a huge chunk out of the fun giant.
I'll use Swift's action to activate Advanced Defensive Combat Training +4 CMD.
Nice.
I cast Call Lightning on one of the bigger mushrooms. I will go for the one that's attacking the elf.
The lightning falls from the sky and hits this fun giant for 7 points of damage.
Flaming Spear.
Yeah, he didn't like that very much. Fun giant attacks Cassandra because she's right in its face. He hits her hard, smashing her into the ground.
Seeing other people having used fire against it, and it seemed to be working quite well, I pulled out the Rod of Flame.
Oh shit, you're not fire extinguisher.
Yes. I'm going to use Studied Target on the second one that hasn't taken the most damage.
Gives you a bunch of bonuses against them.
And I'm going to discharge 2 charges, large fire attack on the one in front of me, which is 66.
That is a hit. As Siegfried rushes in, he manages to get the killing blow on this fun giant, dropping it to the ground.
Greater Overrun.
That's the one where you just trample them, right?
Yes. So I make a charge move and it will bring me to the other side, and they are prone, I think, and I get an attack from them getting prone. I'm gonna do power attack 78 total.
You see this thing on the floor turning into a smouldering wreck. They're all dead.
I look at the elf. Is everything fine now?
Okay, thank you.
I slap him with a Cure Light Wounds.
Literally slaps him.
I was waiting for you all as we had agreed upon.
Where did they come from?
Mushroom Eye Joe.
Suddenly that moose spore burst from the ground and started killing people. With it, those creatures were following it. Cassandra's like, do you think it could be controlled by something? I know plant creatures normally can't be controlled, but perhaps there's something that has somehow manipulated it.
Alpheus, can you turn into a bird and you speak with animal to try and fathom what's going on with the moose spore?
Yeah.
You can't speak with plants.
I turn to a toucan.
You're a dire toucan.
So Alpheus will puff up with the feathers and then shoot into the air.
Cassandra's still got flying effects, so she's going to follow. You see there's already a number of elves flying around it, trying to reason with it. Who are you?
My name is Alpheus.
We have like a master druid in town, but
but we don't know where he is. He must be somewhere in the city. If you could find him and help get him out here, together, you and he can find a way to fix
him. I see.
His name is Lalam.
No promises, but I'll do my best to find the druid, master.
He lives in the northern part of the city Wood Elf district.
You heard him, Cassie.
I should probably stay here and try to help these gentlemen.
We do need to have a discussion later, though.
Good luck.
Alpheus will fly back down to the others and transform back.
We're gonna fight across the city to find a druid. Quick, march!
You'll be traipsing through the city. It is overrun with fungus creatures, many of which are either in battle or hunting for people to kill.
I can walk on my tippy toes.
I'm gonna follow suit with these guys.
Alpheus, why don't you ride Snuffles? He could help you.
It's not a bad idea.
Frieda and Falric, who are sneaking up front, you catch sight of a couple mushroom creatures just coming in from the north.
I suggest going through this alleyway.
Yeah, I agree.
You are able to carry on. You find yourself coming upon a large building in a clearing. You see that this area is swarming with fungus people. Frieda and Falric, you notice that there is a particularly large fungus creature with a special head cap that seems to be leading this particular group. And in the courtyard area of this large building, there appear to be 3 kitsune surrounded.
I don't think I know them, but we should help.
Kano and Alpheus, what are you two doing?
I take on an aspect of the bear. I gain a +2 enhancement bonus to natural armor and +2 enhancement bonus on CMB rolls.
I'm just gonna run at it.
Falric, you charge forward.
Knockout punch!
Frieda?
Yep, flying lightning spears deal 3d6 electricity damage each, and that's 2 balls of electricity I'm throwing at that big mushroom thing.
2 balls of lightning come flying towards him. He manages to dodge the first one, but he is unable to dodge the second. Yeah, he's looking worse for the wear. Kano, you're going to charge an attack then, I take it?
Yeah.
You run forward and lunge Lumia into the fungus man. The ice courses through it. Yeah, the fungus man king is nearly dead.
Can I cast Shile on my quarterstaff?
Shillelagh.
Shillelagh.
So your quarterstaff has just become a magical shillelagh. Teapot just stampedes forward. She kills one of the fungulates. Alpheus, you're up.
On top of Snuffles.
Ooh, yes.
He's gonna charge forth. Snuffles can't attack, but Alpheus is gonna try and attack with his sickle.
You guys see as this large white wolf comes rushing past you, leaps over some of the stuff up front and gets behind some of the fungus men, and Alpheus makes a swipe with his sickle. That finishes it.
Good.
So you shield bite and then cut it down to ribbons.
I called the shield head Duggan. That's
You're
like
gonna have mushroom stew tonight.
I cross the blades and decapitate it, and then continue to do that down the body and make sushi out of it.
The kitsune who are seeing this are impressed and aroused.
I'm already eating a bit.
How does it taste?
It tastes awful. It's almost like it's a creature with like actual thoughts and feelings. And the 3 kitsune who are quite heavily injured come forward. Thank you so much for saving us. We are diplomats. We are here representing His Royal Highness.
Wait, do I recognize them then?
Yeah, you actually know them pretty well.
Were you the ones who angered the moose boar?
No.
Okay, that's good.
Come on, we need to keep moving.
And so you set forth further into the city of Mythglower. You get to more of a suburban area. Kano, you notice a number of fungal infected creatures jump out, having been waiting in ambush. As the shambling mound comes out, you leap forward, drawing flame tongue, and slice through, getting a good solid chunk out of it and scorching it just a little. This one will attack Falric. It beats you with its long, viney tendrils and tries to grab around you, but such puny vines are no match for the mighty Falric.
And then grab that, because I can do a one-handed grapple and throw a motherfucker against another motherfucker.
Hey, you folks need any help down there? On a rooftop nearby, you see a drow woman dressed in the traditional dark blacks and blues of the old drow fashion. She has long white hair tied back in a ponytail, and by her side is a giant spider similar in size to Teapot and Snuffles. And you see another drow lady riding on a giant fluffy llama. She leaps off of the roof and rides straight into battle. She's of similar age to the other drow, but is dressed in much more vibrant colours, and the llama she rides has a cute
fez on.
Alpheus is gonna go, no one can harm a llama, and race down to the phantom fungus.
Harm a llama.
And that's how you do the gardening.
The colourfully dressed one introduces herself as Sinune or Lili, and the darker dressed one introduces herself as Zizara or Lili. They are druids who operate out of Skavas, a drow nation nearby. We did see a couple other druids on our way over. We saw Mr. Duckman.
Just look above us.
Yeah, it's a big crazy moose boar in the sky. How did you miss that?
I was hoping to speak to the druid in there to get an idea of what could possibly going on.
We're looking for Master Quirin.
Yes.
We could help lead you there if you want.
On one condition.
Yes?
I can pet the llama.
Of course, you can ride him if you want. The llama is extremely fluffy.
Lead the way.
You hear the roar of a dragon. All of you look up.
A dragon's going toward the moose boar. I point at two gargantuan things in the sky, like a plane going towards a planet.
Oh, that's just whatchamacallit.
A dragon?
No, he's a friend of the neighbourhood where I grew up.
Oh.
You'll notice that there is actually someone riding this dragon as it clashes into the moose boar. And you see these two massive beasts wrestling each other in the air.
Is that who we're looking for?
No, it looks remarkably like Frieda's master, Aten.
He's a 10?
A real 10.
Ooh.
An open.
We need to get a move on.
You eventually find yourselves on the outskirts of the city. You see infected elves, a shambling mound, and like a myconid, all going after this druid. The drow point him out. Oh yeah, that's who their master is.
Do you want to go first, Farrick?
A smash.
I'm not sure what we should do.
Farrick, would you like to finish this fight for us?
This compopulate with power attack. Oh wow, 2 natural ones.
Oh my god!
Oof.
If I used my quick runner shot,
That's an extra move once per day, so that doesn't take away from your full attack chance.
I shall use that then.
That kills it.
I give you a massive high five.
I am Quirin. I am the master druid of these forests. I do know how to break the moose boar out of whatever it is that's controlling him. So we need to get up there as quick as we can and remove the control that's being placed on it.
Do you know if there's a deck around here?
What is going on with you?
I don't know what that's got to do with anything, but we've got more pressing matters at hand.
He seems really serious, like not angry, but is there a deck in here or around here?
I think I know what you're talking about, and
Just yes or no.
yes, I know where it's kept, but now is not the time for such things. You have to help me.
He takes out the magazine and starts reciting. Falric Malrab, father of Barlam Malrab. Falric found the deck of many things when Barlam was 5 years old. Barlam saw his father draw cards from it. He took Barlam on magnificent adventures as he quickly grew in fantastic power, but one day drew the dungeon. Falric was put into a temporal stasis and Barlam ran away, avoiding contact with his family after that.
What?
And he starts kind of tearing up. When Barlam started seeing signs of his family again, he grew increasingly bitter and irritable and sought the deck, used it, and is now in stasis himself. Unbeknownst to him, Falric was released the moment Barlam drew his card. The father was in stasis for 25 years or so. As he was in stasis, his wife and the rest of his family moved on, and he found himself in an empty ruin of a barn. Falric now seeks Barlam. Falric is 25, a very powerful brawler, muscular, tall, handsome, a master of close combat fighting, most of his power brought by the deck. Falric gathers information on where Barlam or any people who affiliate with him are and would find him with some effort. Falric wouldn't know of Barlam going to stasis until he's told so, but he would not show his emotions about the matter, but instead wishes to enter stasis, calling the deck of many things a monstrous freak of the world, the effects of which must be minimized, removed, or the deck destroyed altogether. And he closes the magazine, tearing up.
You have got to be kidding.
What?
Oh, my dog. I can't believe it.
He throws the magazine away because he's not useful anymore.
Alpheus keeps the magazine.
I wanted to see if I could truly trust you besides what the magazine I got from the Deck of Many Things once. My only lead to bring him back is to find some power from the deck, because I've learned that some powers of the deck can only be undone by the gods or the deck. So I must gamble once more.
I don't know what's worse, knowing your father then losing him, or never knowing him at all.
I once extended an offer to Barlam to help find this deck. I'm willing to do the same for you if you'd like.
I thank you. Be as it may, if we have one thing to do before, I'm willing to help you with that. I don't run away from a fight.
Quirin, the Master Druid, will put his hand on your arm. I will tell you this. He looks up to the sky. He points to the green dragon. He is the one who has the deck. If you come with us up to the moose spore, let's free its mind, and then I will take you to meet with the dragon and you can talk with him.
He nods to him gravely and says, of course.
Quirin's like, don't worry, I'll get us up there, but I will need everyone's help to perform this ritual. The moose sport is still being kept busy by Aten and
The dragon?
Is his name Puff?
it's Lifetus.
Life Yeetus. Is he YOLO?
Life.
Life
Like the
Yeetus.
fetus.
If you say so.
Leithhetus.
Lethatus. Everyone stumbles on it on the spelling bee.
Can you use it in a sentence?
That's a lovely Lefetus.
Can you use the word yeet? I yote my last yeet.
Alpheus will step forward at that point. I will turn into a giant eagle and carry at least some of you up to the giant moose ball.
Quirin can turn into a rock, which is bigger than a giant eagle.
Don't play the CV, please.
For those who don't know, a rock is essentially a legendary giant eagle.
I know what a rock is.
A rock.
It is funny though.
My
You
stone.
say a rock, it's like...
So take like a rock and roll. He'll be able to carry Frieda and Teapot. Fauric can ride with one of the drow, and the other drow can try and carry Snuffles.
Leaving Alpheus to carry Kano.
Everyone turns into big eagles, and they all carry you off up to the moose spore. On your way up there, you see a group of halflings looking at you, just holding a ring going, oh. There are a fair number of flying Migos.
Let's finish this.
Me go or you go. They gotta go.
The moose spore being as big as it is, you're able to land on top of it. Quirin will turn back into elf form. Aten and I will deal with this. You lot can help or keep monsters away from us. If we can do this, we'll be able to break the moose spore free from whatever it is that's controlling it.
I'm going to take a defensive stance to keep the party safe with my short bow. If I see anything coming close, to shoot them down or knock them out.
Frieda, you're up.
Spellcraft check to help in the ritual.
Okay.
I will quickly retrieve a flask from my bracer, drink it, get big boyd, and will stomp on the back of the thing and then shout really loudly and try and scare them off his raw power.
You want
By
to
more
try
shout.
and intimidate some Migos.
Yes.
A bunch of them back away. Let's avoid that guy.
As Alpheus is still an eagle, it's going to fly as an eagle to try and get the amigos onto him for a bit. I got a 1.
He gets surrounded and they're like latching onto him. He's like, oh dear God!
What about to run and jump onto one of these things, actually?
Migos,
Yeah?
Kano runs and leaps off of the moose spore, landing on the back of one of the Migos and like doing a sweet kickflip, launching it into another one, propelling them away. Alpheus still has some on him, but he's in less of a perilous situation than he was. The moose spore's thrashing around and it's going to grab everyone around except for Kano, Sinu, Aten, Quirin, and Zara's giant spider.
I'm going to use my acrobatics. I'm going to jump carefully down the side of this moose spore, finding footholds along its tentacles, and try and get to Alpheus to cut him loose.
And you manage to stab into the moose spore's tentacle, and it loosens its grasp and lets go of him.
I'll escape by wriggling myself out and climbing towards the back of the beast again.
Alpheus is going to fly as high as he can to the Migos, and then he's going to dive bomb them, but in an aerial dance.
Wow.
Just to try and cut through them.
He shoots up and then dives down and breaks through this horde, pulling sick barrel rolls and doing all sorts of cool tricks. He's forcing them back a bit.
So I'm going to play my flute, and any that come near, I shall swipe at them with my swords.
You mean that flute tune?
But unfortunately, it's not good enough to draw their attention away.
It's gnome good.
Cast jump.
Fauric, from where you are, you see Frieda, boing,
gets sprung.
superhero just leaps up.
And I laugh in the most horrendous way, like a male. Oh, 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 oh.
Crit
spell.
You sound like Father Christmas now.
Alpheus will transform back into Dogeman, and he will use his perception to launch something from his pockets in the sling at the amigos.
You grab the first thing you find in your pocket and launch it using your sling, and Amigo that's flying close by suddenly gets whacked in the face with some pocket bacon, and it's just like, oh, okay, and carries on. The magic has finally gotten through and cut the moose spore's mind free as it stops fighting and thrashing around and starts attacking at the Migos now.
Got a friendly moo.
You saved me. I am in your debt.
What was controlling you?
Have you ever heard of a fungus queen before?
Yes. So, Demon Lord made a fungus queen out of succubi and incubi. It controlled plants, and this happened.
We're looking for some kind of obscure succubus that we need to hunt down and kill.
Potentially.
It's more like a demon plant woman.
A fungus queen.
You should know, this fungus queen has been building up her forces for a long time, but this attack, this was just a distraction. Her goal was to draw the fierce Lord Emerald out of his lair.
At that mention, the dragon just kind of bellows. What? He's gonna start to get ready to fly off back to his lair.
So this was a plot to get Alpheus out of his cave?
Yeah, you know what kind of things he has in his lair.
We should go immediately.
We're so shot though. We need to rest.
No, there's no time.
Aten is already getting onto the back of the dragon's like, anyone who's gonna come with me.
He rushes speedily there.
You'll climb on the back of this great worm green dragon as he flies with all haste over the forest. This place has always been one of the most beautiful and peaceful in the forest, but now it is scarred and ruined. The trees have been melted and knocked over.
I'm just white as a sheet and completely shaken. How far has this attack gone? There's a settlement nearby.
Your homeland's far enough away. The fetus drops you all off and he just rushes into this large cave.
Running after him.
Besides the basic furniture, there's nothing here. They took my books, the artifacts, they even took my son!
Whoever has that book, the most powerful spells in the world.
Aten looks over to you. The fetus is the keeper of the Tome of St. Taffida. It is an artifact that contains every spell that has ever been cast and ever been created. We must locate her lair and get everything back.
I look the dragon squarely in the eye and say, I'll find your son with you and all the items you have.
What follows is another flight back to Mythglower, the city that was under attack. The fungal creatures have been defeated. There is a lot of devastation across the city, but many people have been saved.
Where do we start looking for this fungus queen? Underground?
What people are going to need to do is scout out the tunnels and explore and try and find her. As the dust is settled, those who have lost things, they ask, when we find this fungus queen's lair, will you help us to kill her and retrieve all that she's stolen?
So many lives will be lost.
You have my sword.
And my nose.
Of course.
Alpheus is going to make a beeline and hunt down Cassandra.
I imagine you're wanting an explanation. She's going to gingerly reach out and touch you, and you appear back in that pocket dimension, the same room as before. Out the window, you see the beautiful spacescape.
So Alpheus will, I guess, lean back on one of these chairs. If there's any coffee table or anything, he'll put his feet on it, his boots. Snuffles is in pup form or something.
On the wall, there's like a number of paintings. You notice that there is a portrait of Cassandra in her combat gear.
I think maybe you should start from the beginning before I ask anything.
After you died, I decided enough was enough. The crime families needed to be removed and peace had to be brought back to Pavoria. So I left our homeland on a quest for power and allies that I could use to liberate our people. Along the way, I overcame many trials and picked up a few good friends. friends, we heard stories of this book with unimaginable power, an artifact that could help us empower ourselves and whatever army we would build. Along the way, everyone else died except for myself. I obtained the book. The book bestowed upon me incredible knowledge of the arcane, and I became what is known today as a mystic theurge, practitioner of both the arcane and the divine. So using the book and my new powers, I was able to bring everyone back in newer and more powerful forms.
So that's where Greg came from. So what, you returned to Bavaria, built an army, eradicated the crime families, and became a hero? How very commendable.
And avenged your death. After that, the people turned to us for guidance and leadership. The people and my friends decided to rename Pavoria into Pavanoctis, taking our name of Noctura and tweaking it slightly. We decided upon a system of regional lords made up of those who
most deserved it, I'm guessing. Look, I don't care necessarily about that side of things.
Playing the role of a weak and innocent cleric and diplomat was nice. It led me to you, so I know it was the right decision.
Please stop, you have me in tears. Surely at some point you would have realised I wasn't dead.
No, we don't know what happened to you. You had been last seen going to Uncle Elros's laboratory. In case you don't remember, Uncle was a rather gifted wizard. Once the mob got there, they destroyed the tower, and I tried scrying on you and tried praying to the gods. Everything pointed that my brother, Maz Noctura, was gone. We never saw Elros again either.
I want to know why you're using necrotic magic still. It's a big taboo amongst druids, and myself now as an evangelist.
I don't really use the arcane magic anymore. I've started using them since you and I met. I don't really want to use that power if I don't have to, but I would have never forgiven myself if you had died because I had chosen not to step in and fight.
Alpheus will put his hand on Cassie's shoulder and will say, "Let me tell you a joke. There was once a man who was very suspicious of his sibling, for she had chosen necrotic magic and had threatened his own friends. But in time he learned that blood was thicker than water, and he forgave her, and they both looked back at history and they laughed, for the suspicion that once had planted its seeds was now funny. The suspicion was, after all, the joke. I was never truly that angry, I just wanted to make sure you were doing okay. Come here, Cassie." He gives her a hug.
She hugs you tight. You can see that she's crying.
"It's okay, Cassie. Your brother's back now." And over Cassie's shoulder, Alpheus' smile will fall just a little. "I tell you what, as the city elves will be launching their scouting expeditions into the tunnels underground to find the Fungus Queen, how about you show me around your home, and we can have a lovely feast of bacon."
She smiles. Some things never change. And that is where we're going to wrap it up for this season.